jetzt freue ich mich sehr, einen Mann zu begrüßen, der seit fast 2 Jahrzehnten Erfahrung in der Führung von Online-Kleinanzeigenmärkten hat, und zwar in Australien und Asien. Er wurde außerdem 2015 vom CEO Magazine als australischer CIO des Jahres ausgezeichnet. Heute ist er der CEO von mobile.de, unserem Hauptsponsor und Mitglied des Executive Teams von Ade Winter. Herzlich willkommen hier bei Cars Bytes, Ajay Bhatia.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi Ajay. Just a word to the audience. Ajay spricht Englisch, so viel steht schon mal fest. Von daher werden wir dieses Interview natürlich auch in Englisch führen. Ajay, so welcome to the Cars Bytes. Why is it so important to be with us?
Okay, firstly, sorry that I am not there in person. I really wanted to be there in person, but due to some unexpected reasons, I have not been able to join you in person. And also sorry that I can't conduct the interview in German. I was listening intently and I could understand parts of what was being said today. I have a fair idea of what was said, which is really good. And you know, many people say that German is a very complicated language, but it's actually not as complicated. I mean, one example is in English you say pardon, in German you say bitte. In English you say please, in German you say bitte. In English you say go ahead, in German you say bitte. In English you say here you go, in German you say bitte. In English you say you're welcome, in German you say bitte.
So it's easy.
Not at all. In German you say bitte, so I know a bit of German because I know bitte. But yes, it's really exciting to be with you today, and thank you to Cars Bytes for inviting me to this panel. Very excited. Cars is a really important part of my life. It has always been a very important part of my life. There was a point at which I worked for a company. They had a very big real estate portfolio and a very big car portfolio. And they asked me, would you like to do cars or would you like to do real estate? You can go and think about it. I said, no, I don't need to think about it. Let's answer that now. I will do cars. So I'm very passionate about cars. I'm very passionate about technology. And I'm very passionate about the people who work for Mobile. So I'm very glad to be here.
That's nice. So you worked and lived a long time in Australia and came all the long way to Germany to become the CEO of mobile.de. Why did you decide to do so?
But I mean, Germany is an amazing place for anyone who likes cars. It's the home of some of the most amazing cars in the world, and what an opportunity to lead the #1 organization that is part of the car industry from an online perspective here in Germany. It's sort of, you know, I love technology, I love cars. This is a perfect job for me.
This is good for us, so nice to have you here. At the moment, there is a shortage of skilled workers everywhere you look. Are you also struggling with that?
Yeah, no, we absolutely struggle with that. Regardless, my view is regardless of how tight the employment market is or not, good people are always very difficult to find. And good people are not just defined by the minimum level of skill, they're also defined by their attitude, and they're also defined by their passion for the company that they work for. You just had Dirk there a second ago. He is very representative of the kind of culture that mobile.de has. A very passionate person, very good communicator, very positive, loves mobile, you know, really good for our culture. It's always difficult to find people like Dirk. So, it's a difficult market at the moment. But having said that, mobile.de continues to build a really good culture. And this is why I love working for Mobile and the people who work here. And it's not me, it's all of us that attract good people to work with us, because good people want to work with other good people. And we have plenty of good people working for Mobile.
So it sounds like yeah. So it sounds like you have a very good company culture.
I would say it would be wrong for me to say that we are perfect because that assumes we can't improve. But yes, I'm very proud of the culture that we have in Mobilitätsbedürfnisse. But we will continue as a team to make it even better, a better place to work. And I'm very proud of it. But the sky is the limit with the sort of people that we have.
Yeah, this is nice. But back to the core. What excites you about cars?
I mean, if you see here behind me, from there to here is all the cars that I've owned. The first one is a Renault 18 GTS. That was my first car, French car. Second one is a Holden Commodore, it used to be an Australian car. That used to be a V8, very nice car. That was my second car. Toyota Celica, Honda Accord, Lexus IS 200, BMW 550, Mercedes AMG, Porsche 911 GTS, Quattroporte, Maserati, Levante, and Porsche Taycan. And currently, so these are actually all the cars that I've had. And currently, I'm driving a Audi e-tron, which I'm subscribing to, an electric car. But I have just ordered a BMW iX, which I'm buying. So I'm very passionate about cars.
Yes, it looks like. On the one hand, you look a little bit like a real petrol head. On the other hand, I know that sustainability is very important for you. So how do you deal with that?
Yeah, so partly, I actually, I'm a very honest person. People who know me, I want to drive a V8. I want to drive it really fast, and I want to drive it particularly fast on corners. And like, this is the sort of person that I am. So partly, I feel it's difficult for me to transition to electric cars, but it's the right thing to do. The right thing is always difficult to do, and it is difficult. But I also like electric cars, and I also see a lot of value in electric cars. And we all have to change our perspectives because even though I'm very passionate about these amazing petrol cars that have been made in the past. But I do need to move on. I do need to care about the environment. In particularly my role, I also need to be a role model. And this is the reason so I'm on my 4th subscription in Germany. I landed in Germany on 13th of August. And I have still don't own a car. The last 2 cars that I've subscribed to have been electric. The current one is the Audi e-tron. The one before that was the Tesla Model Y. And I'm about to buy an electric car, which is the BMW iX. So it's very important that we all, 25% of the emissions are related to our industry. So we have an opportunity like no other industry to lead the way. And I, in my position, must be a role model to lead the way.
What do you think? What does the future of mobility in general looks like, and what role will the car play in future?
I think there's a lot of interesting things happening in our industry. So I kind of describe, in my role in Mobility, I must be aware of what changes are happening in the next 3, 5, 10, and 20 years for mobility. And the most important change is the change to EVs. So the change from petrol cars to electric cars is driving a change in our industry. OEMs are seeing this as an opportunity to go direct to consumer. That's a big change in terms of the economics of the industry. On a consumer side, there are big changes happening at the moment. Consumers are clearly going to move to electric cars, but electric cars are very expensive at the moment. And the expense means that and also with Tesla dropping price 4 times in the recent past, consumers are very worried about the residual value risk of an electric car. With all of these things and electric cars being expensive, we will see different forms of mobility accelerate into the future. So leasing, for example, because it manages the risk for a consumer of buying that car without the residual value risk. So I see medium-term leasing will increase. Leasing has been hampered somewhat by the supply crisis that has engulfed our industry. But as the supply crisis starts to ease, leasing is an area I would back. Subscription is currently 6% of our market. That is something that will continue to increase. But there are some inherent issues with subscription preventing it to completely scale in the current model that exists today. So I do think subscription will grow, but I find it doubtful that it would grow beyond 10% in the foreseeable medium-term future. In the longer term, autonomous cars, now we're talking 20 to 30 years away. I don't think we're talking 5 to 10 years away either. Autonomous cars, when autonomous cars come in, subscription models will thrive, but that is a while away yet. So there is a very interesting dynamic in our industry, and there will be opportunities for everyone who is in the industry. But our industry is like a manual car that we must drive consciously. We can't sit in that car and put it on autopilot and let it go, because then we, in our businesses, whether we are a dealer or mobility or even an aspirant buying a car, it will be very difficult to navigate. So my advice to all of us is be very aware of what is happening around you. The formula that always works for me is always focus on the consumer. If you focus on the consumer, whether you're a dealer or any other kind of business in this industry, you will always have a winning formula. And here at Mobility, this is exactly what we will do. On behalf of our dealers, we will focus on consumers.
This is great. But what is your absolutely favorite car, Ajay?
It's this one. This one here.
Oh, cool. Oh, I think you're not the only one who likes that car.
I mean, I've gone to a racetrack and driven cars that are more expensive than this one here, but I still find this one the best.
Yeah. What do you think, how is the market in Germany is developing in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think, firstly, that we have 35 to 40,000 dealers here in Germany, which is a really large number of dealers compared to the US, Australia, UK, etc., the industries that I'm aware of. And I would say, if I would compare the population of Germany, number of cars we sell in this country, if you take the economics of one of those other countries, UK, Australia, or the US, we would have approximately 3 times less dealers in Germany. But yet we have 40,000 dealers today here in Germany. It's a highly fragmented market. So I see more consolidation happening in the German market as there is more to be navigated around the changes in our industry. It could become very hard for small dealers to navigate this change. Here at Mobility, we want to help all dealers, whether they're small, medium, or large size. And we provide economies of scale to all of these dealers. So we're very passionate about preserving this industry. But without careful thinking, this industry will have less dealers than it has today in 5 to 10 years. And OEMs will have much more control in this market, especially over new cars and slowly over near new cars. So this is the dynamics we all need to work with, and change is not bad. Change is just change. There is no good news or bad news. It's just news. And when you understand that, it makes easier to navigate the industry. And we just need to be factual about the future and come up with our plans to navigate it.
Okay, thank you, Ajay. Let's go back to the Cars and Bytes. What are you looking forward in the next 2 days?
Look, looking forward to understanding different perspectives that exist within our industry, because as just mobility, we cannot shape this industry, but as all of us together. The bitte is a very good word in German, but so is zusammen, and I said that earlier as well. We have to do this together. So I am looking forward to togetherness. I'm looking forward to all of us coming together and shape this industry that we love so much. That's what I look forward to the most.
Thank you so much for the time you gave us for this interview. Thank you so much, Ajay Bhatia, that we could talk to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ja, das waren wirklich tolle Einblicke, die er uns gegeben hat in die Automobilbranche, Stand jetzt und auch natürlich der Blick in die Zukunft. Das sind genau die Themen, um die sich bei der Cars Bytes alles dreht. Ja, um 11:45 Uhr, da starten wir hier direkt auf der Business Stage mit unserer ersten Panel-Diskussion. Es geht um das Autohaus der Zukunft, Autohändler oder Mobilitätsdienstleister. Bis gleich.